Hello everybody, my name's Kanai Miniga, and welcome back to the unboxing, where today it's more S.H.Figuarts time. And in one of the lines I've been collecting basically everything of, there's one I haven't pre-ordered yet, because I'm considering whether or not I want it, because it's a character that I don't think I necessarily need, but that hasn't stopped me before. But anyways, today we are taking a look at another S.H.Figuarts Across the Spider-Verse figure. Though this one kind of barely feels like it counts because the character barely appears in the movie, he feels like he'll be more relevant in 2027. That's right, today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Across the Spider-Verse Miles G. Morales, aka The Shocker, from Earth 42. Yeah, they made a figure of this Miles. We still haven't gotten, like, Spider-Woman or, Penny Parker or The Spot. There's some characters that I feel like they probably should have done before this, but I don't necessarily mind it because this design is really cool. So I'm excited for it. As you can tell, while in America, and I believe most Western regions, like this probably applies to like Canada or even Europe. I haven't done checks on that, but at least for America, while it comes in a premium Bandai shipper, it was not a premium Bandai item. You should be able to find it at your usual action figure S.H.Figuarts retailers, if they chose to stock it in general. You should be able to find this relatively easily. It should be like on Amazon and shit. It is in a P Bandai shipper though. This is how you get it, no matter what. At the front you can tell basic P Bandai shipper outside of it saying Miles G. Morales. On the back it says that in Japanese, which means the G is just kind of there, which is very funny. I really like that. That's very cute. But a shipper is a shipper is a shipper. You've seen them before if you've seen an S.H.Figuarts, and if you haven't, well, it isn't that crazy. And don't worry, you also get a like a box. At least where I got it, they didn't just ship it like this. I mean, Amazon might, because Amazon fucking sucks with how they send over action figures. But inside, you get an actual package. Of course, that means we gotta shake it out, and we get the Across the Spider-Verse Miles G. Morales, and that is a really cool box, which give me a second. And we're back, sorry about that, I just wanted to get some photography of the packaging just for future reference, but yeah, this is a very pretty box. That purple is fucking resplendent. It fucking hit me in the face as soon as I opened it. Here's the shipper. But yeah, as you can tell, it's a fairly standard S.H.Figuarts box. This is the kind of smaller for Spider-Man, for these Spider-Man figures. The past couple we've looked at have been in very big boxes because they've come with a lot of stuff. But this one is in this sort of smaller style that's kind of close to like what you get for like your usual anime figure art, the sort of wide-ish box. Not quite as thin as like the Kamen Riders and like the Sentai figures, but you get the gist. You get the gist. At the front, we get the nice kind of purple pattern with like the comic book dotting sort of effect, but also we get these little like nice bright green spray paint effects, which really do fit the character. We also get a window package, which allows us to look at the figure itself and a bunch of the accessories. S.H.Figuarts, Miles G. Morales from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. You got your S.H.Figuarts quote, and behind him you can see it's got that Prowler logo kind of spray painted on that background. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Miles G. Morales. You get a promo image of the figure here. Those are the prototypes, you know how it is. Marvel, Tamashii Nations, Bandai, Bandai Namco up there, Tamashii Web exclusive, all the usual stuff. Designed in Japan, made in China. Yeah, at the top you get a little bit more window, which mine's a little scuffed, but that's fine. S.H.Figuarts, Miles G. Morales, Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with that green spray paint behind it. At the bottom, you get a image of Miles, and then on the English release you have this, the warning sticker. On this side, you get an image of Miles without the helmet, SHF Miles G. Morales, Across the Spider-Verse. On this side, you get SHF Miles Across the Spider-Verse. You get him kind of crouching down, which is a very nice image. And on the back, you get your usual promotional shots. You get the name of the figure, him doing a leap, Simples Down Heroic Action, a layout of everything you get, him holding the gloves, him wearing the gloves, and all of that good jazz. So yeah, with that out of the way, I think it makes sense to open the figure from the side. Okay, we open it up, doop-a-doop-boop, and the instructions aren't on a flap, they're on a separate piece, which means that the back is a little extra cardboard piece, so you can take that out and use it if you want to. Sorry. And here we have everything that comes in the set laid out on the tray so that you can get a nice, good look at it while we're here. But we're going to get nice and close into all the accessories here real quick. So why don't we do that? It's really interesting because this is actually a fairly solid loadout, all things considered. All the Spider-Men have felt pretty fully featured. Could they have come with more? Probably. I mean, maybe not this one because he's just got so little screen time. They felt pretty good to pick up, all things considered. Not perfect, obviously. I would have loved to get them cheaper, but yeah, I'll live. Anyhow, something that's relevant for this is that he comes with essentially all of his accessories are hands outside of a couple, but that's because he comes with 2 sets of arms. On the figure, he comes with the big Prowler claws. However, he doesn't always fully wear those, so they also included extra lower arms. We'll start here, because they also have the hands. We'll go 2 times zoom so that you can get a nice, better look at it. But yeah, you get extra lower arms. They swap out at the peg at the elbow, and have your standard SHF wrist articulation. They aren't downgraded hands from what I can tell by any means. But they also just have some really nice painting. The purple and the black are nice and distinct, and the blue line also looks nice and clean from what I can tell. The black undershirt also looks nice. It has a nice sort of matte texture. And the gloved hand, while fairly simple, does have some nice gloving texture. Like, you can see a little bit. I hope you can kind of see it. There's some extra like material and like stitching where like the thumb part is attached, and that's just very nice. SHF is very good at doing hands and arms and like gloves and shit because they do Kamen Riders. It does work well, and you get a whole pair of those. However, those also get a full suite of hands, which is very much appreciated. Alongside the fists, you get these. These are a pair of specialty gripping hands. Yeah, specialty gripping hands, which have some nice ribbing and some nice, like, wrinkling texture to them. As you can see, they look very nice, but they have a special gripping pattern with their thin fingers so that they can hold the armored gloves when they are detached from the figure, which is nice that those can also just kind of count as accessories if you don't want to have them on the figure himself. From there, you also get a pair of sort of standard open hands. I'd call these a lot more calm, though I'm sure you can use them in more than calm situations, which again, very nicely detailed, very realistically detailed, even though this is very cartoony. It gets the look across very nicely, and you get a whole pair of those. The last hands you also got a whole pair of. I didn't properly show it off, I don't think. But yeah, you get a whole pair of those, and then you also get a whole pair of what I would call wall sticking hands, but he doesn't really do wall sticking because he doesn't have the spider powers. So I guess just splayed out hands. Again, with all that nice texturing you would expect from the previous hands being layered onto here, it looks very nice, and you get a whole pair of them. They are tight gloves, seemingly, and they did account for that, which is very nice. They're just very nicely sculpted. But next up, we get to the clawed hands, which are what I'm gonna keep on the figure mostly because they are just so cool. I really love the suited look. So alongside the fists that come on the figure, you get these sorts of, I guess, relaxed clawed hands. They're in this sort of position, which I believe he does take in the film with these gloves. And they look very nice. They have that chunky aesthetic that I love about this costume in the film. And they have that nice delineation between the silver of the outer layer and the gunmetal of the inner layer, but they just look so cool and robotic, and I love it so much. And they're also fairly clean from what I can tell too. And you get a whole pair of them, and both are as clean as each other. I'm sure there's like tiny bits of paint slop, but nothing that really comes to eye. And then you also get another pair, which are much more vigorous clawing hands for like him grabbing something, or someone more likely. And it just really does capture the look of these Prowler claws in the film. They're very cool. These are very cool, and you do get a whole pair of those. Yeah, from there, you also get spare head parts. So we'll start with the heads and then go on to the eyes. They are very much particularly a Miles G sort of head, and they do look really good. I do really like how they look. They look like Miles. They do have the sort of like double braids sort of look that Miles G has, and also have that much more like, I guess, tired sort of like angry look that he has in Universe 42 or whatever. Earth 42, sorry. And it does capture it well. I think the eyes might feel a little under-detailed, but It is a small figure, and you're going to be looking at it from far away, so it shouldn't be too bad. But it does capture his look in the film spectacularly. And then you get a secondary head, because these aren't just faces, they're full-on heads. Also, these are a little bit rubbery, so you shouldn't have to worry about them breaking. Maybe tearing, so just be careful, but a very similar head sculpt, but one that's meant to be a little bit more brooding, I think. Kind of looking down like this. Again, there's not a lot of options when taking directly from Across the Spider-Verse. Maybe they should have waited for Beyond the Spider-Verse for this, but this one feels like it's looking up, so it's kind of more ideally like this, and it does capture that very well. Again, very nice head sculpt. They've done a really good job with the Mileses so far. Some of the other faces have been a little bit iffy, but the Miles ones I've quite enjoyed from what I've seen. Finally, though, you get a pair of eyes, which feel weird because they're just the normal eyes, because we'll get there. But I kind of wish there were more eye options than just these, but it is nice to have them. They're not the cleanest painted, but they are kind of meant to be digital, so it's fine. They do look fairly nice, and they have that nice shaping, and yeah. But from there, that does mean we get to go on to the figure himself, so why don't we? He's got a lot of plastic around him, so there's this stuff, which is, oh, jeez, goodness gracious. Let's one time zoom it for a second, just so you can get the full effect. Like, get all of this fucking plastic out. There's some under his jacket. There we go. Some under the belt. Didn't want to pull on that. Yeah, yeah. I like these Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Figuarts. They're some of the best that Figuarts makes, and they're some of the best Spider-Man figures out there, in my humble opinion, at least. Even though they are big, I admit that, but as a singular collection, they are very cool, and this one is continuing that. It looks so vibrant, even more than a lot of some of the others. This one's colors, maybe it's just because of the contrasts between the darker elements and these nice bright purples and bright pinks, but it is just popping like crazy. This one has some of the best paintwork I've ever seen on a action figure, and that's saying a lot because I do collect a lot of action figures, and I've collected a lot of nice action figures, especially this year, but this one has some of the best paintwork I've seen all year. Yeah, moving on. The weirdest part of this is that he has these blank eyes. I don't really know where those came from. I guess you can customize them, but they do look a little bit jank. But God, I love the way this helmet looks, with the exposed hair poking through, and you can see a little bit of his like neck and like face even. I think he's got a little bit of like detailing under there. Maybe that's just the neck poking through, but it does look great. And you have that nice gunmetal of the helmet itself. It just looks so good. And of course, we have to come to the collar as well. Nice and spiked, and the hair is able to go around it very nicely because it is that softer material, but it has that nice spiking that you expect from the Prowler, very much in a more, I guess, casual, jackety look. It is just resplendent. I love how this figure fucking looks. It is blowing my mind, even as someone who's collected a lot of the Spider-Verse figures. It is just so good, and like the purple and the distinctness of the purple and black with these blue lines, I'm kind of losing my mind here. This is like crazy. This is insane. And then the nice metallics on the backpack, which is on him at all times, thankfully, unlike the Marvel Legends. I think part of this is that I'm mentally comparing it. I don't know where I put it physically. It's somewhere. I kind of moved it out of my Spider-Verse shelf once this was announced. But somewhere I have the Marvel Legends, which if I do ever do a full review of this, I'll probably do a comparison of. But it's fucking night and day. That figure was fine. I was fine with it. But this is just resplendent. The way that the pink and the metallic play off of each other, and like the nice ropage here. Oh my goodness. And of course, we gotta talk about these fucking gauntlets. I think mine might have a little bit of paint slop on this one, but I'll live. Let's check the other side. And I think there's a little bit of paint slop in the pink, but I'll live. It's expensive, but it's worth noting if it'll fucking focus. Come on. There we are. You can kind of see it. But otherwise, the sculpting is amazing, and the colors are just so, again, vibrant and like nice and metallic, and it just looks so good. And oh, that fucking armor, that armor separate. Oh my fucking. I imagine you have to remove that in order to swap modes, but oh my, armor set. Oh God. Sorry, I'm going crazy. The belt also has some of that nice stuff. These are a flexible plastic as well, so be careful to not tear it, but it won't snap if it falls. And on the inside, you got that nice bit of like orange ropage. Oh my goodness. Belt pouches are also very nice, very well done, and they have that nice aesthetic. It does kind of ride up, which does reveal some of the sculpting, but that's fine. On the legs, you have this now brownish kind of purple material coming in, which also is nicely done. And then there's the orange that just goes down it. A lot of details that I just never noticed about this design, especially since it appears so little in the film, just are popping out at me now with this figure, and it's making me appreciate it more and more. And then we have this nice purple metallic here at the knee pads as it goes almost all the way, cuts to this sort of like sock, I guess, with like the orange on the inside of that one, but not that one. And then his untied sneakers, wonderful, with a bit of detailing down there. Just look at those. Look at those. They are so good. That is just that is amazing. This is like exceeding my expectations. I was not excited for this figure because I kind of saw it as like, as this is not the most relevant figure to the overall film, I kind of saw it as getting in the way of characters who I feel more of a connection to in the main film, as well as in the previous film. I don't know why we needed to get a Miles G until like either later in the Across the Spider-Verse line or even a Beyond the Spider-Verse line, but I get it now. This design is really cool. I understand why they tackled it. Yeah, let's figure out the articulation on this thing. So it looks like ball joints, upper neck and lower neck, as is expected. He's able to look up about that far, not as crazy. He's kind of bumping into the collar a little bit. And he's able to look down about yay far. I'm getting a little bit of resistance, which is all right, but and then you of course get your side to side and your swivels. Swivels got a lot of resistance, oddly enough. Maybe that's just because of the hair getting in the way a little bit, but the hair is flexible, so I'm sure you can work it around for whatever poses you need to do. Shoulders look like they have butterflies, but they aren't the most flexible because of the rubbery material of the jacket. So you're not really able to get too far forward, unfortunately, though that will be supplemented by the elbow bend. You get your full swivel-ish. Again, the shoulder armor or jacket kind of gets in the way, so it kind of becomes something that splays out a little bit, but you get your full rotation. As you can see, you get a nice splay outward, which is a little bit greater than expected. You get a bicep swivel. I think there's a little bit of swivel at that joint as well, but you mainly get bicep swivel. You get double jointed elbows, since they're nice and baggy, which go up basically all the way. They stop where that armor hits. I imagine these will have a little bit more in that articulation in that front. We're not going to test that quite yet. Hands are on your usual wrist peg system, swivel, hinge, swivel, as is to be expected. Torso articulation looks pretty good. He's able to crunch, because he has a ball joint there and a ball joint at the waist, so he's able to crunch nice and far. He's able to arc back really far. He has... There we go. Got a little stuck there. He has some pretty decent tilt, and he can swivel all the way around very nicely. Not all the way around. He kind of stops there-ish and there-ish, but it's basically what you need. And that is lithe. That feels better than some of the bigger guys in their torso articulation. That is... Oh my goodness. Hips are kind of your basic sort of looks like ball jointy hips, so they're able to kick forward that far. There's drop down. There's drop down at these hips. Back about that far and out about that far. Not a full split, but basically what you need. Oh my goodness. There's a thigh swivel, thankfully. Double jointed knees, which aren't super locked up. Thankfully, you're able to get that far. No boot cut there, but there is a swivel at the shoe. He has nice ankle tiltage. These get in the way, so I'd be careful of the little drawn down shoelaces. But he is able to get some decent ankle tilt forward, backward, all the way, and toe bend. And god damn it, this is a sleeper hit, honestly. I was not expecting to like it as much as I do, this fucking Prowler, but god damn it, it's doing everything in its power to make me like it. It's a little bit looser tolerance-wise than I'd like, especially in these hips, but god damn, this is a fucking super well-articulated figure of a character with barely any screen time, but I'm sure he'll get screen time next movie, so I'm excited to have this so I don't have to worry about getting a Beyond the Spider-Verse version. I shouldn't, at least. It is, and like the drippage on that inner shirt, that is so good. But yeah, this is a good figure. I highly recommend it, actually, surprisingly. But yeah, I would recommend it. If you do enjoy this video, do all the usual YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know what other Spider-Man figures you want. Try to convince me to get, fucking, what's his name? Ben Reilly. I'm kind of on the fence with him, but this might have convinced me to try to get that Ben Reilly pre-ordered. Otherwise, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Go check out my other Spider-Man unboxings. I've done unboxing videos of basically every other S.H.Figuarts across the Spider-Verse figure. So, go ahead and check those out if you so choose. And until next time, I will see you all around. Bye-bye!